This is your start here video for ACLs. Access control list, ACLs, are one of those CCNA topics that feel simple at first, but then suddenly you're lost in wildcard mask, in versus out, and rules about where to place them. So in this video, we'll build ACLs from the ground up. What an ACL is and what an ACE is. How packets are checked, top down, first match, implicit deny. How wildcard masks work without guessing, and the real difference between standard and extended ACLs. Also the placement mindset, inbound versus outbound, and where to put standards versus extended. This video is part of my free CCNA series. So, Section A. What an ACL actually does. An ACL is a set of rules a router uses to decide, do I allow this packet or do I block it? That's it. It's not encryption, it's not a firewall in the modern sense, it's a traffic filter. Now the important detail. An ACL doesn't do anything until it's applied to an interface and a direction. So, conceptually there are two parts. The list of rules, the ACL itself, and the attachment point, which interface and which direction. If you remember only the big idea, an ACL is rules plus where you apply them. Then you're good to go. So, ACL is the whole list. ACE is one individual rule inside the list. ACE stands for Access Control Entry. So if an ACL has 10 lines, that's one ACL and 10 ACEs. This matters because packets are evaluated ACE by ACE, so row by row. So, how does the ACL processing work? When a packet hits an interface where an ACL is applied, the router does this. Start at the top ACE, compare the packet to that ACE. If it matches, take the action, permit or deny, and stop. If it doesn't match, go to the next ACE. Repeat until you match something or run out of ACEs. That gives you two critical rules, top-down processing and first match wins. So the order of ACEs is not decoration, order is the logic. Alright, now the part that surprises beginners the most. The implicit deny. If the packet reaches the bottom and never matched any ACE, the router denies it. That's even if you never wrote the word deny. That's the implicit deny. So every ACL has an invisible final rule. Deny everything else. This is why people accidentally block traffic with ACLs all the time. If you don't explicitly permit what you want, the implicit deny will block it. So, wildcard mask. Wildcard masks are the part that makes people panic, so let's remove the mystery. A wildcard mask is used to match IP addresses, and it works like this. 0 means must match, and 1 means ignore. That's the entire concept. Not 0 means network, not 1 means host, no. 0 match, 1 ignore. Here's why wildcard masks feel backward. Subnet masks work with 1 equals fixed network part, and 0 equal host part can vary. So, wildcard masks are basically the opposite behavior. So if you're used to a subnet mask, the wildcard mask feel inverted. A quick trick is that wildcard masks are often the inverse of subnet mask, but they don't rely on that trick alone. The meaning is the real key. 0 means match, 1 means ignore, at the bit level. Now, the 3 most common wildcard patterns. 1. Match 1 host. To match exactly 1 IP, you want every bit to match, so you ignore nothing, and that means the wildcard is all zeros. 2. Match a whole 24 network. First 3 octets must match exactly. Last octet can be anything, so the last octet is ignore. 3. Match any IP address. Ignore everything, that means. Now we answer the big which ACL type do I use. A standard ACL matches primarily on source IP address. That's the key limitation. It doesn't care about destination, it doesn't care about the application, and it doesn't care about the port numbers. In plain words, if you come from this source, you're allowed or denied. An extended ACL can match one more field, including source IP, destination IP, protocol, and for TCP/UDP and port numbers. In plain words, this source can reach that destination using this protocol and these ports. Extended ACLs give you precision. But why does that difference matter? Because with a standard ACL, you might block more than you intended. It only knows the source. But with an extended ACL, you can allow one type of traffic and block another. Conceptually, permit web traffic to a server, deny other traffic to that same server. That kind of control requires extended ACL thinking. Now, direction in versus out. Direction is always from the point of view of the router interface. Inbound means packets are checked as they enter the router on that interface. So the router receives the packet and filters it before routing it onward. But outbound means the packet are checked as they leave the router of that interface. So the routing decision happens first and then the packet is filtered as it exits. The simple mental model is that inbound equals stop it at the door before it enters the building, and outbound is stop it at the exit before it leaves. Now we bring everything together. Placement. Placement is about two goals. Block unwanted traffic efficiently and avoid blocking more than you intended. CCNA gives you two classic best practice rules. We'll do them one at a time. Rule 1. Place extended ACLs close to the source. Because extended ACLs can be very specific, you can stop unwanted traffic early. If you know which source is generating the traffic and which destination or ports you want to block, blocking near the source prevents that traffic from crossing the network at all. So, extended ACLs close to the source. Rule 2. Place standard ACLs close to the destination. Because standard ACLs only match the source, they're blunt. If you put a standard ACL near the source, you might block that source from reaching many destinations, not just the one you meant. But if you place it near the destination, you're effectively saying only block this source when traffic is headed toward this destination network. So, standard ACLs close to the destination. Quick scenario. You want to block PCA from reaching server S, but allow PCA to reach everything else. If you use a standard ACL near PCA, you will block PCA too broadly, more than intended. But if you place that standard ACL near the server-side interface, you block PCA only when traffic is headed toward the server network. But with an extended ACL, you can specify source, destination, and ports, and then place it near the source while staying precise. That's why the rules exist. Alright, common pitfalls. 1. Forgetting the implicit deny. If you deny something but don't permit what should pass, the implicit deny can block everything else. 2. Bad order. Because its first match wins, if you put a broad permit too early, nothing below it will matter. 3. Wrong direction. Inbound is filtering as traffic enters the interface. Outbound is filtering as traffic leaves. Always think from the router interface viewpoint. Let's lock it in. An ACL is a list of filter rules, and each rule is an ACE. Packets are evaluated. Top-down first match wins, and if nothing matches, the implicit deny blocks the packet. Wildcard mask match IP ranges with one clean rule. 0 means must match, and 1 means ignore. Standard ACLs are simple, mainly source IP. Extended ACLs are precise, with source, destination, protocols, and ports. Direction matters. Inbound filters as traffic enters the router interface, and outbound filters as traffic leaves. Placement's best practices. Extended ACLs, place them close to the source, and standard ACLs, you need to place close to the destination. If you understand those rules, ACL questions stop being memorization and start being logic for you.